to grow. Just obstacle set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. Dog, it's a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog, it's a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog, it's a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog, it's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Von Dale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. Dog, it's a dog. Payback is a dog.
This video taken by the ISUPK is posted on the school's website and on YouTube. He says he and members of his Christian Bible school are well within their First Amendment rights. But shop owners say they've heard enough. Today in court, their lawyers argued the group is trespassing. In addition, they say the group's offensive.
Niggas want me dead. Crackers too, but these coon ass niggas, they for the feds. My stick full of lead. In case these whole niggas try me, man, I might have to make that bed. No need to even flex. Cause how I walk it, how I talk it, let you know my speech direct. You heard what I said. Another move, your life passing through your mind, now you're big. And I'm fresh like a motherfucker. Niggas hating cause they mom want us. I'm just coolin' by myself, but now they all on me. Shut up, bitch, eat a dick, I don't wanna love you. Sippin' that pool, wow, got your lace up out your shoe now. Look what you finna do, wow, it's hot. Hop around these niggas till you flop. I'm busy getting mine, but all these niggas wanna duck. But it's cool, let me know I'm on the top. Steady in the courtroom, always fighting cops. Call the white man the devil, and that's off the top. So they try to stop my movement with a block, but I beat the case every damn time, so they watch. Waiting on a nigga to try to make me slip up. Walking up on me like homeboy, what's in your cup? Do you have any drugs? Well, let me see the slugs. Make your bitch ass back, get mad, you ain't getting love. Your wife made you clip it damn nuts, yeah I know. Crazy what coon people will do for these hoes, but I ain't even pressed. I see why you going on, my nigga, you dead wrong, but a never get it on.
Black and white land, shit is crazy. Black and white land, shit is crazy.
I'm freshen up, cleaner than the motherfucker. Good juice in my cup is redder than the blood sucker. Drip on leak, yeah, drip on me. Hey, talking about, but what the fuck do you mean? Yeah, you see these damn bitches, they be choosing on me. But I don't want the bitch, but that bitch drooling on me. I get to walking on the cause she wanna moving with me. But I won't have it cause she easy like spaghetti, homie. Unleashed it to the G. Who is he? That nigga from SC? Get your level straight before you approach a G. Scion TC 0013. Sits on the stick, it got me cruising off the scene. The fuck do you mean? Yeah, nigga, yeah. They nigga be hating, but they can't penetrate us. Tryna shoot at us now or later, but I'ma get you now. Potato all about blank blah.
But even 30 years later, videos don't necessarily lead to convictions of officers. Advocates for reform say that needs to change.
This a Batman tool, I promise you. This shit lit, cuz. This shit lit, alright? Run that joint.
Niggas looking for the light. Me and my niggas prepared for the dog. Yeah. So we gon' get it on for the last days, nigga. Already know what it is. 140 for the rubber.
They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. It's a problem, tell them pop off. I die for I let my colors fly, boy. For a nigga take me, they a drop dead. AR, clean them up like a mop pig. Say he cool, he bad, he really so tough. They like, damn, look what he did to Billy go rough. Little bitch think she Kiki Palmer, silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't from Philly though. From the city where they say about that ribbon like petty poops. Know them niggas plotting, gotta deal with me. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with me. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made my feel the blade. Leave them all bruised, come through like a plague. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze on Run West May. Watch your step get stretched like a limousine. So my brother bring that blade back wet, that's by any means. Little nigga, this that cold, need to talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup, I just sip it like it's grenadine. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the bitch. Look, told them niggas get right or get lit. UPK, bad man, I pin to your flesh. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead man shit. Got the rate, the power, I been a showstopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow prop. Iced out, got the drip out of David Jones lock. Know I got the plan, they say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock, I'm the one you heard about. Burn down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one west up, then I swerve. Sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch a step, blow him out them Reeboks. We taking over, I'm sending the word out. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's One West practical, gladiator, maximum. Creep on them slow, but they Glock 5 rapido. All I want is more power, more straps to blow. Ain't got excuse for no car, he gon' have to go. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out.
Let's have fun with it.
Uh-oh, stepped up on the scene, casting that.
Yeah. Hey, Cat. What's wrong with these niggas, man? First off, no need to go back and forth with the scriptures, cause every time you niggas talk, y'all just proving you wicked. Really? See, the UPK name was mentioned by some Israelite group who called a leader a bishop. Really? And what I'm stating is all facts, you lost that. UPK, that's them hard cats. Cross that, said the shield of David was Molech. Stop that, hope you told Esau that when you got your cop badge. Hypocrites, that's that shit we don't like. Fraud niggas, that's that shit we don't like. Come on, man, you Tom Clancy niggas cause division. Bunch of wicked ass niggas in your spirit bear witness. That's what's wrong with you boys, let a man check you. Foot on they neck, applying all this damn pressure. No regard for the black lives the clan gathered. That's the shows how you feel about your ancestors. If you really in these streets, where your teachings at? If you really men of war, where your mitri at? loyalty, is you teaching that? Pharisees and heresies, you teaching when it comes to a check, you niggas turn into Judas. How you speak against the beast, then go join with they movement? You can't lock a brother up cause he don't know what the truth is. Talking about building a nation, you helping us lose it. See, now y'all niggas see why we don't link up with no squad. The more you niggas teach is the reason you show why. The day you left us was the day that your soul died. The Lord named Yahweh, why you calling him Anya? It ain't come from the prophets, then you know that it's all lies. The general held on, nigga, he never jumped side. And y'all see everything we do for the 12 tribes. We see the shit you niggas do when doves cry. Y'all hated rank, now y'all copy our style. Shit, we heard about your video, seen it and smile. Now it's time to set the record straight. We coming for Nate, dog, let's regulate. Motherfucker, we hit him up.
War. Why you suckers is fellowshipping? Fucking Christians, why would you ever consider dissing? Nigga, listen, you'll never last in our division. That UPK warhead launching is never missing. Officer down, I'ma start to offer you clowns. How you talking tough in your church offering gown? Y'all just a cheap imitation. These niggas hating. Wanna be us so bad as humiliating. Making diss tracks using indirect statements. IUICPD on location. Lying to their faces, lying in your convo. Putting cases on everybody, Nate like Alonzo. UPK the big dog, rest of y'all just pups. We about to separate purebred from mutts. Y'all days is up, y'all gay as fuck. You say you got the truth, but the truth is you suck. Y'all should stick to lying, cause rapping ain't where you wanna go. You took your shot, got blocked, not today like Matumbo. Holding came with Columbo, UPK do a jumbo. Can't beat us with the scriptures, rapping not in the rumble. Y'all second class, y'all wouldn't last in the jungle. You dealing with the predators, wearing purpley regular. IUIC so peeved, they irrelevant. Your track so corny, I'm doing this for the hell of it. Just to be clear, I don't give a fuck like I'm celibate. Got your bitches singing Chief Keef, y'all so delicate. Then you try to pick up a mic, that ain't intelligent. And if you talking numbers, you ain't fucking with us, they either. Cause every one of ours, we're 3 or 4 you divas. You hard as a Justin Bieber, we hot as a fucking fever. You should join the trooper program, you starving for a leader. UPK will make y'all men, we do a lot of charity, so we'll take y'all in. Show you how to be a soldier, and to keep them hoes in their place. But to be honest, I'd rather punch them dead in their face. Kinda curious what color red and purple make now. Is that your camp or your girl camp? You stepping in the ring with the world champs. None of them punches was even landing. IUIC get slapped, open-handed. Whole squad must be gay to follow a faggot. When we saw your weakness, know we had to attack it. Cross that line, now you suckers gon' learn a lesson. I ain't taking shit from no pussies in purple dresses.
Kaboom! Warlord in the building! I kill these motherfucking niggas and I kill them! Hey,
you stepping in the ring with the world champs. None of them punches was even landing. IUIC get slapped, open-handed. Whole squad must be gay to follow a faggot. When we saw your weakness, know we had to attack it. Cross that line, now you suckers gon' learn a lesson. I ain't taking shit from no pussies in purple dresses, purple blouses. I know them bitches running your houses. I see you worship women, I know who wearing the trousers. Really, I prefer that we take it straight to the warfare. What we doing here? Folding y'all like a lawn chair. It's the wrong year. Betting y'all get the point clear. Squad too soft to beef with true bosses. You can thank the general sending you all these losses. Then you go to Ghana, so far from Americana, so you can get them little boys naked in their cabana. I see what Purple Rain and Bambada they got in common. They ever touch my kids, I'ma bury them, never find them. Next time, better watch your mouth and watch your rhyming. Never mention general, direct or subliminal. You gon' need more than them cops to come defending you. Better get the FBI, the military, GMS on PMS, polite SETI. The whole conscious community come together in unity. Still won't be enough in between to protect you from me. Now, is we finished or we done? One West where I'm from, when you see us better run. I ain't put my all in this verse, I'm having fun. And what make it even worse for you cowards, it just begun. Fuck it, I can do this shit forever. Purple started raining, I'm coming with an umbrella. I'm coming with a vendetta. We go to war like whatever. IUIC in the ICU.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Alright, Shalom Israel, this is the Wednesday night history class. Also remember, check out Commanding Johnny Hannah's radio show. We had some technical difficulties running late all the damn storm down here. I got my brother Officer Bunny girl with me. That's right. Any questions, just type them in the chat. I'm gonna jump straight into some history. So we're gonna go into King Solomon and his wealth and so forth. So we're gonna go into that, sources in the Bible, sources out the Bible, what he had, how he became rich, how he became the richest man in the East Country and whatnot.
Yes, Lucky. Go ahead, Haban.
1 second, so lock in. Khan. Solomon, who came to the throne of Israel in 1965 BC, was in a position to be the middleman in the important trade in horses and chariots.
And you want to know why King Solomon was so rich? Because King Solomon lived in the middle of all the richest trade routes, man. He lived in between Africa, Arabia, and Egypt. So imagine everybody that wants to pass through there, man, paying your tax. You see like how the Strait of Hormuz, you have to pay tax. Listen, man, where Israel is, they had to pay tax to get through certain places. We was in the middle of all the trade routes back then, in the middle of all the maritime. That's what they call it, right? Yeah. In the middle of all the maritime. That's Lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. Between Asia Minor and where important horses.
Between Asia Minor, Haban, where's Asia Minor today? All right, Asia Minor is Turkey. So today, Asia Minor is Turkey. You know what? I got a book of maps. I still need to do the class on locations what there was back then and what locations are now. But Asia Minor today is Turkey. That's Lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. Between Asia Minor and Egypt.
So now, between Asia Minor and Egypt, go ahead.
Khan. It appears that Solomon's tradesmen were importing horses from the horse-rearing country of Cappadocia.
And Solomon was importing horses. They was importing horses. So don't think Solomon just had gold and all of those things. Nah. Solomon also was importing horses, and when is it? He was importing them and selling them to other countries. Go ahead.
Khan. Via the kingdom of Ki, along the coastal region of Cilicia, and were supplying them to Egypt as well as.
And now imagine this: he's importing horses and he's supplying them to Egypt. So obviously he's making money off importing horses and supplying them to other nations. So now other nations need horses, so they're paying Solomon. Remember, Solomon's in the middle of the trade routes, so he can say to one man that lives in one region, sell me these horses, man. And they say to the Egyptian man, 100 grand for this horse. He can make his money like that. Go ahead.
Khan, as well as to some of the Syrian kingdoms located to the west of the Euphrates.
And then he sold horses to the Syrian kingdoms left of the Euphrates, man. Go ahead.
Khan, 1 Kings 10 and 29, would seem to indicate that Solomon was obtaining wooden chariots from Egypt. Biblical sources also credit Solomon with maritime operations on the Red Sea.
And now, Solomon was also running a business on the Red Sea, man. Maritime, meaning they had sea operations and whatnot. Go ahead. Because there was a king from, I believe it's from Tyre. King from Tyre. Hashim is his name. Hisham. That used to work with Solomon. Go ahead.
Khan. And with expeditions of Phoenician-built ships sailing from Ezion-Geber to...
Back then, when you look at history and whatnot, the Phoenicians was masters of maritime, so they was like the best at using the seas and whatnot. So obviously, Solomon worked with a couple of them because he needs things brought over by sea. Go ahead.
Khan. Sailing from Ezion-Geber to Ophir. 1 Kings 6 and 9, 26 to 28, and 10, 11 to 12. During Solomonic times, the Gulf of Aqaba was probably referred to as Ezion-Geber. Ophir is usually identified with the land of Punt along the eastern coast of Africa. With the land of Punt.
So now the Ezion-Geber, back then, I believe that's in Jordan, modern day Jordan. Go ahead.
Khan. Gold appears to have been the major import from Ophir.
And now And now gold was the major import from Ophir, and that's where Solomon used to get gold. Solomon used to get gold, and there's an inscription somewhere today, gold of Ophir. Like they got like a plaque till this day. Go ahead.
Khan. An ostracan found at T-Quazil had a Hebrew inscription referring to gold from Ophir belonging.
See, and this is gold of Ophir, and they said they found a Hebrew inscription. Go ahead.
Khan belonging to Beth Haran. Solomon also appears to have had commercial ties with the Queen of Sheba from southern Arabia.
So now they said he had what?
Had commercial ties with.
There you go. So now history says he had commercial ties, not that he had sexual relations. Only ignorant black people say Solomon had sex with the Queen of Sheba. Nobody else says that. Only a man that's trying to save Ethiopia says that. Oh, he had sex with the Queen of Sheba. All of those stuff. Only they say that he had sex with the Queen of Sheba, the Queen Sheba, and that's not even her name, man. So Lucky, go ahead.
Khan. The commercial negotiations between the two rulers took place against the background of a mutual exchange of presents.
There you go, man. It said they had a mutual exchange of presents. This is history outside the Bible. So now people read the Bible and be like, Solomon gave her all, meaning what? The goods that he had, man. Gave her some of the goods that he had. That's all it is. Didn't mean he had relationships with her. People make it like, yeah, they had a relationship and sexual relations. The Bible does not say that nowhere, man.
No, Rasta goes, the Bible goes, he gave up all she desired. And he goes, what if you woman desire sex?
No. This woman desired money and wisdom and all of that kind of stuff. These Rastas are very ignorant when it comes to these things. That's Lucky. Go ahead.
Khan, which was a well-established diplomatic procedure at that time in the Near East.
So Lucky, hold that. Actually, get me 1 Kings chapter 9 and verse 26. Because now we found the Hebrew inscription that said gold of Ophir. Go ahead.
Khan, 1 Kings chapter 9 verse 26. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Azangaber.
King Solomon had a navy of ships. Why? Because he was exporting and importing, man. Most people don't know that Solomon had ships and was into exporting and importing. People just think, the Lord gave him gold and it fell from the sky.
So this book you're reading from is what?
This is a Bible archeology.
And that's what the Bible says.
Yeah. And they find the inscriptions as well, which goes with what's in the Bible. So go ahead, hold on.
Khan, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom.
See? And they will let you know where his fleet was. Go ahead. In the Red Sea.
Khan, and Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea.
See, and then he had a man that worked for him that had knowledge of the sea. Because obviously, if people are working by sea, you need someone with knowledge, or they're just gonna get lost, like the king that was ruling before Mansa Musa. Apparently, sailed off and never came back, and that's how he got thrown. Sailed off and never came back.
I lost.
Yeah. Till this day, he ain't came back. To this day, he ain't came back.
So you keep staying in a circle. To you, it's like you're going somewhere, but you're not.
So yeah, he ain't came back till this day. So yeah. So that's how you got the throne. That's Lucky. Go ahead, Haban.
Khan, with the servants of Solomon, and they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold.
Wait, they did what?
And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold.
And they went to Ophir and fetched some gold. And in here it says, gold appears to have been a major import from Ophir, and an Ostracan found at Tikusail had a Hebrew inscription referring to gold from Ophir. So where they went to get the gold, they found the Hebrew inscription where it said the gold is from, the same place where it tells you it's from in the Bible. So go ahead.
420 talents and brought it to King Solomon.
And that's how much gold they brought to King Solomon. King Solomon had gold, man. And imagine this. People try and say, yeah, Mansa Musa was this and that. All Mansa Musa really had was gold. King Solomon had gold in a fleet of ships, man. Listen, King Solomon was selling olive oil, man. King Solomon was selling wheat and oil and so forth. He was selling all of those kind of things. And he had a fleet of ships. Mansa Musa didn't have no fleet of ships, man. Now he had caravans that would transport slaves and whatnot. But let me go back to the slide. Hold on, let me see. And how did Sheba know about Solomon? Why? Because his fame reached so far, and he was trading, and she wants to know, like, yo, who's this with all this wisdom and trading like this, and got all of this going on? She wants to know, yo, how these like got all these things going on? Yes, Lucky, go ahead, Haban. So this is Lucky.
Khan. Economy of Solomon's kingdom.
So that's going to let you know the economy of Solomon's kingdom. Go ahead.
Khan. Situated athwart the old north-south trade routes, the so-called Via Maris and the.
So now, Via Maris is what a coastal trade route which links, I believe, Egypt to Syria. So that's a trade route that Solomon had, which links Egypt to Syria. Go ahead.
Khan. King and the Transjordan King's Highway.
And the King's Highway is it's a transport that runs through Jordan. Go ahead.
Khan. The kingdom of David and Solomon was well placed to intercept and benefit from the trade which passed between Egypt and Syria.
Now imagine this: where Israel is, we can benefit from the trade which passed between Egypt and Syria. Or we can say, yep, none of you are coming through here then. You don't want to give us nothing? No, you ain't connecting with each other. We're not going to let you connect if you ain't bringing us and not giving us no money. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Khan. The Bible speaks of Solomon trading with Egypt, Africa, Arabia, Phoenicia, and Lebanon.
There you go. The Bible speaks about Solomon trading. Now, with you heathens, we can trade, of course, man. Because why? There's going to be some things that we don't have in our land that you have in yours that we're going to need. And there's things in our land that we have that you're going to need. So now if someone says, can you do business with a heathen, like on a work relationship trading? Of course, because they're going to have stuff that you need. We're going to have stuff that they need. And that's like work with Solomon. Go ahead.
Khan. Coincidental that spices were not mentioned in the list of imports obtained from Ophir. And this may indicate that Solomon and the Queen of Sheba struck a deal leaving the monopoly over the trade of frankincense and myrrh entirely in the hands of the Arabians.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get the next one. Lucky, go ahead.
Khan. According to the Bible text, Hiram from Tyre gave Solomon.
So now Hiram, which was the king of Tyre, them like had loads of timber and so forth. Go ahead.
Khan gave Solomon timber of cedar and fir in exchange for large quantities of wheat and olive oil.
See? So now we would give them our olive oil and so forth for timber and so forth. Listen, man, we've been trading oil before Donald Trump knew about oil, man. Before Donald Trump knew about oil, we've been trading oil, man. We'll give them olive oil for wheat. No, we'll give them olive oil and wheat for timber. Why did Solomon need the timber? Why? Because these are the instruments that he was going to use to build the temple. So now that's why he would use those things. Hold that, but get me First Kings chapter 5 and verse 10.
Come on. First Kings chapter 5 and verse 10. So Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees and fir trees.
So Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees. This was what I believe it was I want to say it was the king of Tyre, which is Tyre is where today? Tyre is what, Lebanon. I think Tyre is Lebanon today. So okay, go ahead.
Khan. And fir trees according to all his desire.
And he gave Solomon timber and fir trees. And the things that is given Solomon is things that Solomon is going to use to build the temple with. Drop that, you can take me back to the slide.
Khan. Due to the political weakness of the pharaonic government after the fall of Ramsey Day
Everyone that loves to talk about Egypt at this time, Egypt weren't saying nothing, man. Why? Because Egypt had fell, so they weren't really a superpower like that no more. They was there, but they weren't as big as everybody that loves Egyptologists likes to make out. Because they had fell at this time, man. Go ahead.
Khan. Egypt was less active in foreign commerce than she had been up to that time. The closest commercial ties she enjoyed were with the cities of Phoenician coast. The Byblos she sought the timber of the Lebanon. From Byblos she sought the timber of the Lebanon.
Egypt was so weak at that time. Everybody else could increase their trade, and then everyone's coming up in the earth, increasing their trade, making money, shipping this, shipping that. While Egypt can't do nothing. Right, go ahead.
Khan, and gave in return luxury items, including metalwork, stoneware, statuary, papyrus, and the aromatic products of Africa. Egypt's trade with the Sudan was virtually cut off after the loss of her African empire.
There you go, man. Egypt's trade was cut off after the loss of the empire. Go ahead.
Khan, but began to pick up again in the late 9th century BC with the rise of the independent kingdom of Kush.
And the kingdom of Kush, I believe the kingdom of Kush is in Sudan today, right? I believe the kingdom of Kush is modern day Sudan. It's good to know these Bible locations, because then you might stumble across it on your travels. I don't know why you'd be living in Sudan, but I don't know why you would be in Sudan, but you might stumble across some of these places on your travels. Speaking of Kush,
the man that killed the woman,
that's him. The man that stabbed up the man in Belfast, he's from Sudan, man. About Kush, that's where he's from. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. Thereafter, until the coming of the Persians, the Bade shows much closer contact with the Sudan in terms of artifacts and pottery.
So now, when they start looking at archaeology, they'll see pottery and they'll be like, all right, this looks like Sudanese pottery or Egyptian pottery or Israelite pottery. And then a lot of our pottery will have like Hebrew inscriptions on there. So then they'll see that and see what else is around there. And then they will see a lot of that. A lot of these archaeologist facts goes back to this place or that place. So they don't look at one thing. They look at quite a few things. So lucky, let me get the next one. So
Phoenician trade.
So now the Phoenicians back then, there was the greatest sea traders in the Mediterranean at the time. So now if you wanted money and wealth, then a lot of them you'd have to work with them if they've got the greatest sailors. Go ahead.
Khan. Most important in the panorama of the Mediterranean trade, certainly from the 19th century BC, and possibly already in the 10th, was the unrivaled maritime commerce of the Phoenician cities.
So these Phoenicians, they were sailors, man. They could navigate a ship. So if you wanted wealth and wanted imports and exports, you'd have to hire some of them. Like, yo, you like go work on these ships for me. Go ahead.
Khan. Their traders had complete access to Egyptian ports, with the result that not only did items of Egyptian manufacture pass by the way of Tyre and Byblos to the rest of the Near East.
So Byblos is Lebanon today. It's in Lebanon. Right.
Khan, but also decorative and artistic motifs of Nilotic origin became familiar around the Mediterranean in
Phoenicia, they was known for being in around that sea. But get me First Kings chapter 5 and verse 1.
Khan, 1 Kings 5 and 1. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon.
There you go. Hiram, the king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon, meaning they're going to go do some work for Solomon. Go ahead.
Khan, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father.
And he heard that Solomon is now the king. So now the king of Hiram, the king of Tyre, he sent his servants to Solomon. And that's what people do. Kings send their servants to another king. Go ahead.
Khan. For Hiram was ever a lover of David.
And Hiram was it? See. So someone that don't read the Bible would read that and say that's gay. He was a lover of David. Now you read it like that. He was a lover of David. That just means he loved the nigga. Like, yo, I love this nigga, man. Now when you pull it like that, it don't sound gay. Now when someone says, oh, that's the lover of David, then it sounds gay. But when you say, yo, he loved that nigga David, man, then it don't. That's lucky. Go ahead. Sounds gay.
Khan. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, thou knowest how that David my father could not build an house unto the name of the Lord his God.
There you go. So now Solomon is saying, you do know my father couldn't build a house unto the Lord his God because of all the bloodshed. Go ahead.
Khan, for the wars which were about him on every side, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet.
There you
but
go.
Now,
put David's enemies under the soles of under his feet, man. Wiped out his enemies, got them gone, and then now after this, Solomon's gonna be the one to build the temple. Sometimes you have to continue things. Sometimes in life, you have to do things that your father couldn't, man. Sometimes there might be some things that your father can do, or that he can't do. You might have to be the one to do it, man. Go ahead.
Khan. But now the Lord my God hath given me rest on every side.
There you go. The Lord's given him rest on every side, meaning why? David had enemies. The Lord put those enemies, destroyed those enemies, and that's why Solomon's got rest, man. Solomon's got all the time in the world to build this temple now, but he ain't got enemies like his father and don't have to shed blood and go to war and whatnot. Go ahead.
Khan. So that there is neither adversary nor evil occurring.
There you go. There's neither adversary. He ain't got no ups. Go ahead.
Khan. And behold, I purpose to build an house unto the name of the Lord my God. As the Lord spake unto David my father, saying, thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, he shall build an house unto my name.
And there you go. The Lord told David, like, yo, his son, he's going to sit up the throne. He told him, like, your son, he's going to sit up the throne, man. So David knew that one day he's going to go and his son's going to reign in his stead. You lose my voice, Mr. Lucky, go ahead.
Khan. Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon.
And he said what?
Command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon.
There you go. So that's how Solomon got the trees, man, out of Lebanon. That's how he got the trees. He's speaking to the king of Tyre. And now he's talking about he's going to build a house for the Lord. So he's letting the servants know what he needs to build that house. Go ahead.
Khan. And my servant shall be with thy servants. And unto thee will I hire will I give hire for thy servants
There you
according.
go. It's like to you, I'll hire your servants, man, because it needs work done. It needs certain things. It needs transports. Go ahead.
Khan, according to all that thou shalt appoint.
So people always say to us, "Oh, so because you are so radical, use that wouldn't eat English food." Of course we would, man. Listen, ain't no crime in eating food from. Some people like Algerian food, not me, but some people like it. Now, is it a sin? No, man. So lucky, go ahead.
Khan.
And what verse you at?
In the middle of verse 6.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Khan. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like unto the Sidonians.
There you go. He's saying, yo, because the way them men can do that, obviously we can't do it, so they'd rather get a servant to do it. Go ahead.
Khan. And it came to pass when Hiram heard the words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly, and said, Blessed be the Lord this day, which hath given unto David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent to Solomon.
Now, this king said, Blessed be the Lord that's given these lot, given them a wise king. Now, does that mean this man can come in the temple and worship with us? Nah, it don't, man. Don't mean that. This is no different to a white man at camp saying, yo, bless you and your God. It's no different to that, man. Go ahead.
Khan. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered these things which thou hast sentest to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar.
See, and it goes, I do all desire concerning the timber and of cedar. And listen, man, when we rule the earth, this is how it's gonna work, man. We want something, you're gonna provide it, man. So it's gonna work. We want to see the tree. If I want to see the tree in my living room, you send your servants to plant it, man. That's it. Don't ask me no more questions. They come plant the tree. That's it. Go ahead.
Khan.
Better speak like Hiram and just get the job done. Go ahead.
Khan. And concerning timber of fir, my servants shall bring them down from Lebanon unto the sea.
See? And they brought things from Lebanon to help build this temple. What verse you at now?
Verse 9.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Khan. And I will convey them by sea in floats unto the place that thou shalt appoint me.
See? And they was going to bring it by sea because they knew about maritime. Like people think trading on ships is new. No. These have been trading on ships for years, man. Passing through certain waters and all of those things for years. Go ahead.
Khan. And will cause them to be discharged there. And thou shalt receive them, and thou shalt accomplish my desire in giving food for my household.
There you go. And now he said to Solomon, we will give you the cedar trees and timber, and you give us food. And imagine that when you control the food, you're near enough control everything, man. Like I'm telling you, you see what it is. A man can live without, a cedar tree. A man can't live without food though. So now imagine we've got all the food. And we say, all right, you know what? We're not giving you no food. That means they won't be able to eat, man. When did we do this before? In Egypt, man. Joseph made them give all their cattle for food. And then guess how they had to eat after that when they had nothing else to sell to us? They had to come and be our servants, man. So lucky, go ahead.
Sounds right.
It's
right, yeah.
Khan. So Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees and fir trees according to all his desire. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 measures of wheat for food to his household, and 20 measures of pure oil. Thus gave Solomon to Hiram year by year. And the Lord gave Solomon wisdom, as he had promised him. And there was peace between Hiram and Solomon. And there was peace between Hiram and Solomon
But so, hey, most people don't know that Solomon's was a businessman also, man. A wise man, a businessman. People just think, yep, Solomon. Like what it is, when you speak to people like, why was Solomon so rich? Most people don't know how. People just think, yeah, his riches fell out of the sky. Nah. Solomon knew how to trade and all of those things. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Khan. And they too made a league together. And King Solomon raised a levy out of all Israel, and the levy was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses. A month they were in Lebanon.
Actually, you can take me back to the slide.
Their traders had complete access to Egyptian ports, with the result that not only did items of Egyptian manufacture pass by the way of Tyre and Byblos to the rest of the Near East, but also decorative and artistic motifs of Nilotic origin became familiar around the Mediterranean in Phoenician guise. And that's the
That's one. Lucky, go ahead. Let me get these highlighted. Go.
Khan. To all the communities alongside the Mediterranean shore, the resourceful merchants peddled their timber, cloth, purple dye, metalwork, and grain.
So now this is what they were selling. So now they were selling all of these things. They were selling what? Purple dye. Because back then purple was. Nowadays you can go in any shop and get purple. Back then apparently purple was a rich man's color and it was hard to get. I think in some countries, if a peasant wore purple, they would kill you because obviously they believe that no, you can't be wearing it. All of those kind of things. So go ahead.
Khan. In return for the products of North Africa, the silver and iron of Spain, the opium of Cyprus, and the slaves and manufacturers of Aegon.
Mm-hmm.
King Solomon built a fleet of ships at Ezion Geber, which is near Elath on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom.
All right, let me get my next slide. I don't think I need that one. That's just letting you know about the traded, maritime, and whatnot. Go ahead, let me get this one.
Khan. Grain was sown broadcast on the plowed and harrowed field.
Now, this is letting you know how they used to plant in Bible times. It's letting you know how they used to plant things and so forth. Because in Bible times, we used to plant things, and that's why we used to have food, and we would trade food for, wood and whatever else we needed. Go ahead.
Khan. Olive trees were planted by taking wild or domesticated non-producing rootstock and grafting on productive stock. Grapevines could be grown from the seed or rooted from cuttings, and once they had taken root in the seedlings, were planted out in carefully prepared ground. From the earliest beginnings of farming in the Neolithic period, the basic tool for cultivation was the hoe. It was used to break up the soil before planting.
So now, to let you know how they used to plant things, how they used to plant crops. So they used to go sprinkle the field, use a long tool called a hoe to dig up the field. Go ahead.
Khan. And for weeding and for thinning the crops, the mattock, a tool for breaking up the soil, was used in this early period. The plough may have been known by the early Bronze Age, around 2800 BC, although the earliest positive evidence occurs only in the early Iron Age, around 1200 BC. The biblical plough was an ard or scratch plough.
So now, even when you go up to the first line in this one, it talks about how they grafted certain roots, and because that's how farmers used to plant, is the reason why Paul talked about grafting in the branches into the olive tree because he knew they understood how farming worked. So that's how they used to farm, used to graft things in together. And he understood. That's why Paul used the analogy by grafting in Romans 11, because obviously farmers graft branches in and so forth. So that's why Paul mentioned it in Romans 11. Let's go ahead.
Khan, to a depth of a few inches. It had a wooden point clad with metal, either copper in the Bronze Age or iron in the Iron Age.
Oh, so like, is that the slide?
Khan, that was the slide.
Oh, hold on, let me see what my next slide is. Hold on, wait. Slucky, it was this one, right? Oh, yeah, Slucky, go ahead.
Khan. Everyday life in the ancient Near East revolved around agriculture.
So now, where we relied on agriculture, and it's good. You know why? Because you get food that way. Agriculture produces food and so forth. That's how we was living. Whereas everybody else weren't really living like that. These lot was creating these water wells and so forth. Whereas we relied on rain and whatnot from the Lord. That's lucky boy.
Khan. And the production of food, learning to make the best use of land was vital. The development
for good agriculture, you need to know how to make use of the land. And the Lord showed us in the Bible how to make use of the land. He told us what to do, what not to do, and let the land rest. The other nations didn't have those instructions. That's why they ain't producing nothing. Go ahead.
Khan. The development of the plow and other tools, and the increasing sophistication of terracing and irrigation techniques enabled the land to support an ever-increasing population.
And irrigation techniques. So now we learn techniques to produce more food and support a larger population. We learn to create more food. We learn to make food stretch. We learn all these new developments. Go ahead.
Khan. Point by a hassle and draft animals.
Just letting you know how they used to farm. So over time, they started to what's the one where the yoke animals and so forth started doing different things to get quicker farming results. Go ahead.
Khan. Were attached to it by a shaft. In Mesopotamia, the plow might also have had an attached seed drill. In Europe, the ard was used to plow a field twice and the second time at right angles to the first. This is known as cross-plowing, a technique which may be referred to in the Bible.
So that's referred to in the Bible. So let me get that in the Bible. The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 20-24.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 24. Doth the plowman plow all day to sow?
Does it plow all day to sow? Now, successful farming requires knowledge. Don't just think you're just going to be a farmer and throw seeds everywhere. Don't work like that, man. To be a successful farmer, you need to know when to sow the seeds and when to plant and when to reap. You don't just throw your seeds everywhere. Go ahead.
Khan. Doth he open and break the clods of his ground? When he hath made plain the face thereof, doth he not cast abroad the fitches?
Go ahead.
And scatter the cumin, and cast in the principal wheat, and the appointed barley. And
so this is letting you know, like, yo, does a farmer do certain things? And then what he's saying in the book of Isaiah is how people was actually farming at that time. So the analogy that he's giving makes perfect sense for that time, because that's how they was farming at that time. So that's why they even put the scripture in the archaeology, because the same way they would sow seed and do whatever is the same way Isaiah explained it. Go ahead. Is there any more that is that about it?
That was it.
All right. So yeah, basically archaeology is just confirming that these farming methods were used throughout Israel. So the farming methods, we actually use them. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan. Prior to 1200 BC, most farming in Palestine was carried out on the coastal plain and valley bottoms as there was no tools for farming the steep hillsides economically. By the beginning of the Iron Age, the need for arable land had beginning of the had increased along with the population. Agriculture in the highlands was made possible by the use of stone-built terraces filled with soil. As the forests which had covered the hills were gradually cut down, the cultivatable land thus created was divided into narrow strips. That's the end of that.
Let me get the next one. All right. Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, let me get this one.
Carnarvon Khan. This involved the diversion and the control of the waters of the rivers through the use of a
So now this slide, we're gonna find out how other nations used to provide water to water their crops. Because don't think it's a thing like now where you just go in your garden and you go get you a hose pipe and you spray water everywhere. No. Back then it was difficult. You had to create certain things in order to get water to water your crops. Go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan. Through the use of a system of canals, sluice gates. In Egypt, the ancient water lifting device called a shaduf was used, and a variety of different water lifting wheels, some powered by the flow of the river.
Now they were powered by the flow of a river, which was like a wheel. So they back then in the ancient world, they kind of knew how to water their crops. They would do it in certain different ways. Go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan, as at Hamar in Syria, and others by donkeys, oxen, later camels, were used throughout the Near East.
So they would use camels, donkeys. They would use like different ways to water their crops. Go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan. In Palestine, however, there was no great rivers from which to draw water. Most farming was dry farming.
And now, where we didn't have nowhere really to get water from. With us, it was dry farming. So imagine Egyptians made ways to get water to water their field. All of them made use wheels, use animals to water their field. And where we didn't really have no rivers close by to water our fields. So what did we do? We relied on the rain. And who sends the rain? The Lord, man. Imagine. That's the miracle in itself. When Israel was farming, they didn't have the water wells like everybody else. They had a thing called dry farming, and they relied on the rain. And where does the rain come from? The Lord, man. So it was the Lord that was watering our crops, which was making sure we would get food in abundance. That's a miracle in itself. We didn't need to go build no water wells like what they was doing, and no water wheels and all of those things. We just knew shit. We rolled with the Lord, and we pleased the Lord. The Lord's going to send the rain. So what we would do in Palestine and Israel, it was called dry farming, meaning we rely on the rain. Nowadays, they're trying to rely on the rain now, and it don't work for them. We've been relying on the rain for years, and it worked for us. So, Lucky, go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan. There were irrigation schemes, but these were usually very small scale, often confined to a single field or at most to a hillside. The water of a spring higher up the slope was conducted into a holding tank and along a small system of stone-built and plaster-lined channels to where it needed.
Hold on, do I need this slide? Let me get the next one. Yes, Lucky. Let me get the next one. I'm trying to just fly through this. Time save. Go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan. Harvesting was a highly labor-intensive process which involved the whole community, in addition to any available itinerary.
Farming involved harvesting, and farming involved the whole community. So us as Israelites, we would work together, man. We weren't just one man working on his own farming. It was a ton of us. So Lucky, go ahead.
Carnarvon Khan. In addition to any available itinerant labor, Olives were beaten from the trees with
And now
lambs.
olives are beaten from the trees, and we would sell olive oil to these other nations, man, because we was full of olive oil and wheat and all of those things. Let's look, go ahead.
Khan. They fell onto cloths spread on the ground beneath the trees. Bunches of grapes were cut from the vines and placed in baskets.
Now, we're known for wine and so forth, and they know that's what we had around that time, olive oil and wine and grapes. Go ahead.
Khan. After harvesting grain, wine, and olive oil were stored in jars, either storage jars which held about 10 gallons or pithal of larger capacity. Small numbers of storage jars were to be found in every home. Large quantities of grain. Oh, that's the end of it.
Let me get the next one. I'm trying to talk. Let's just fly through these. Let's look. Go ahead.
Khan, been kept in jars in royal storehouses such as those at Hazor, Megiddo, and Beersheba, in large grain silos such as that from Megiddo, or in underground silos such are found at many sites of the Iron Age period. Grain was also eaten as porridge and as cracked wheat, and was fermented to make beer.
Go ahead.
Vegetables were widely eaten, although.
So now, back then, we would eat a lot of vegetables. Meat was mainly eaten at like feast days, or if you had a guest come around. So you see, if you had a guest come around, then you would go get a calf and kill a calf and cook it like what Abraham did. So meat was it's not like now where you have chicken every day. Back then, it weren't a thing like that. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Although the variety was limited, onions, leeks, beans, and lentils were among the most important. These could be eaten raw or boiled.
So now, they said in our diet back then, we was eating, a lot of vegetables, a lot of lentils, because meat was a thing where meat was expensive. So not everyone had access to be eating meat. We only really ate meat at feast days, or if guests come around. It's kind of like now, if family come around to your house, your mom would pull out the best cutlery. Listen, Haban, if there's no guests coming around, you're using the cup with the chips on there. The cup where half the things chipped on the side, you can cut your lips on there. That's what we use when it's just us. Now, when guests come around, we pull out what is it? The fine china.
Fine chinas.
We pull out the fine china, and that's what they would do with the meat. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Meat was a luxury which did not normally form part of the diet.
And meat says it said meat was a luxury which did not form part of the diet. So with us, we rarely ate meat. Go ahead.
Because animals could more profitably be used to produce other commodities.
And and they didn't eat meat. Why? Because the meat could be used. Well, the animal could be used to produce more profitable commodities. So now, Haban, this is why when you read in the Old Testament, the Lord says, give a lamb and burn it up. The people's like, yo, this is profitable. And that's why they didn't want to do it. Because they never, you see what it is? The lamb that they would give would be the priest's dinner. These people didn't want that lamb to be no dinner. This lamb could produce other commodities. So now they was like, yo, why are we going to give this to the priest for the priest to burn it up? And they're like, yo, we're just throwing away our money. And that's how you know you love the Lord. Because imagine this lamb could get you wool and whatever it could get you. Rather sheep could get you wool and whatever it could get you. And then there's a man saying, yeah, just give me it so I can burn it up. Imagine you don't even eat your own meat. You know why? Because you want to keep this so you can get cheese and milk and everything. And then you hear someone saying, yeah, you give us that sheep just so we can burn it. So a man that didn't eat meat is looking at that like, yo, we don't even eat this. Why are we giving it to burn it? That's how you know a man that pays his tithes back then, That's how you know a man loves the Lord when he pays his tithes. Imagine this. Read that line one more time, Haban.
Khan. because animals could more profitably be used to produce other commodities.
See, and they said people didn't eat meat because it could be used for more profitable commodities. And then nowadays, now those people back then are thinking, yo, we're giving the priests our lamb, which we know now when they burn it, we can't get our profitable commodities. And now they're thinking in their head, yo, what are they doing with my lamb? All they're doing is burning it. Or what are they doing with my lamb? It's like what people do today. What are you doing with my tithes? What are you doing with my tithes? I'm burning them. Don't worry. Listen, they burnt up the lamb. What are we doing with your tithes? Don't worry what we're doing with your tithes, man. You're only gonna buy holes with it anyway. You're only gonna pay for a lap dance with it anyway. That's all you're gonna do. What are we doing with your tithes? We're doing something better than what you're doing with it, man. We're doing something a lot better than what you're doing with it. But this is why back then men didn't want to pay their tithes. Why? Because most people didn't eat meat because it was too expensive. So you go back then, if you could go right back then, the food that you'd be eating would be lentils, vegetables, and they barely ate fish early on. They only started really eating fish later on in the scriptures, like towards the New Testament, because based off where they was living, they didn't really have much seas, rivers with those things. So lucky, go ahead. Until later on, until kind of once Rome came in and started opening up certain ports and whatnot. But so lucky, go ahead.
Khan. It was normally eaten only at sacrificial feasts.
See, and meat was only eaten at feast days. And this is where when Paul's like, yo, if you're hungry, eat in your own house, man. Because yo, some niggas is like complaining about the smell of that meat and they don't get it often, man. They're not getting that meat often, and they're coming around to this feast and there's meat there. Because in their own house, nowadays, what we eat at feast days is probably what you eat at home at the same time. Because we'll be eating a lot of Benjaminite food, so people be eating that at home. Now imagine if you're eating lentils all week. Imagine if you're eating lentils all week and vegetables all week, and then there's a feast, and at this feast there's lamb. You're having all of that stuff. You're gonna love that feast, man. So yeah, them brothers back then. Listen, they'd have been at them. Listen, we tell brothers come be at the feast day 7 o'clock. Listen, them brothers would have smelt that lamb and been there, man, because it's not something they have often. They only have these on feast days and whatnot. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. And as a part of the entertainment of an honored guest.
And now meat would just be for an honored guest. So the only time, like you see, like Haban, you see, like when family members come around and for once, your mom has dessert. That used to have that ginger cake and custard. That's for an honored guest. That ginger cake and custard. Listen, when my mom's friends used to come around, everyone used to get after 8 after dinner. See, after dinner we get the after 8. That's a luxury that was. Yeah, that's a luxury that was. Used to get the after 8. What's the long stick ones and the coming orange as well? Matchmakers. Yeah. Used to get a matchmaker. Those things was for honored guests. So we've always done things like that. And how do you know this is true? Because when Abraham had guests come around, what did they go and do? Kill the calf, man. Before that, you get me, it would have probably been eating lentils and whatnot. But they killed the calf. Why? Because they had guests come around. And then that's how the guests know, yo, yeah, man, this person rates us and is happy to see us. Killed the fatted calf. And yeah, so lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. The main meat providing species were sheep and goats.
And it says the main meat providing species were sheep and goats. Now listen, man, that's such a black man's diet, man. That's what we be eating all the time: sheep, goats, and so forth. Lamb. Go ahead.
Khan. Although some meat was obtained from the cattle and birds.
So some meat was obtained from cattle and birds. Also, go ahead.
The chicken was not introduced into Egypt until the late New Kingdom.
Sure, in Egypt they used to eat a lot of fish. I think in Egypt they used to eat a lot of fish, from what I remember.
Khan, and may not have reached Palestine until.
That's why when we left Egypt, what was those people saying? Yo, there's better food in Egypt. It's like, yo, there's better food in Egypt. They got the Lord mad with that comment, man. Niggas are always hungry, man. Complaining about food and always hungry. Go ahead.
Khan, until the intertestamental period.
And with that, With that right there, meat was only for certain occasions. Get me Genesis chapter 18 and verse 6.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 6. And Abraham has hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran into the herd and fetched a calf, tender and good.
Abraham ran into the herd and fetched the calf. And archaeologists tell you the same thing, that when Israelites had guests, is one of the only times they would eat meat. Because why? Like back then they understood, I'm not gonna kill this lamb because you want to eat lamb today. They looked at it like, yo, do you know what we could make from this lamb? So they looked at it as business, and then they would only kill it if an honored guest came around. And then the priest was saying, yo, give us 7 he lambs and the burning them up. A man that looks at money and loves money too much, guess what he would say? I'm not gonna give that to the priest to burn it up. Listen, the priest can do what he wants with it, man. They're ordained by God, they can do what they want with it. You ask him what we do with your tithes, don't worry, man. It's not, that money's not yours. The question is, why aren't you paying your tithes? Don't worry about what we're doing with it. The question is, why aren't you paying your tithes? Like I said, we're doing better things with it. But Salaki, that's the class. So we'll finish this now. Actually, let me get you know what now. We'll drop this for next week. We're going to set it down. Let's Salaki, Haban, you can call it.
Khan, men of Israel, I'm Madian. I'm Madian Shabbat. I'm Madian Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Yadi Matar, Saw, which means to turn. Men of Israel, I'm Madian Shabbat. I'm Madian Barak. Yahweh Shema Alathan Ba Yadi Matar. Dismiss.
Well, again, man. All right, then Shalom Israel. Be here tomorrow. Scripture breakdown. Shalom Israel.